many oxygen atoms in 10 oxygen molecules? Try answer that yourself before I show you the answer. How many O atoms in 10 O2 molecules? We don't actually have to write atoms and molecules because O can only be atoms and O2 can only be molecules. But note, we're not speaking about moles atoms or moles molecules. We're speaking about atoms and molecules. So we need to multiply this by a conversion factor which has O2, in other words, molecules, at the bottom to cancel away the given unit, and O atoms at the top to introduce the required unit. So we ask ourselves, how many O atoms in an O2 molecule? So O2, the molecule O2, consists of 2 O atoms bonded together. So 2 O atoms and 1 O2 molecule are equivalent to one another. So if we have 10 O2 molecules, there are double as many, 20, 10 times 2, 20 O atoms. How many moles O atoms? In 3,01 times 10 to the power 23 O atoms. So now it's not how many O atoms, how many moles of O atoms. And again, I need not write mole atoms. I must write the mole, but by writing O, it means atoms, it doesn't mean molecules. So I'm just going to write how many mole O in 3,01 times 10 to the power 23 O. Now this is not mole O, it's O. Very big difference between mole O and just plain O, because mole means 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 of these O's. So we need to multiply this by a conversion factor which has O, not mole O, just O, in other words O atoms, at the bottom to cancel away O atoms, and we need mole of O atoms at the top to introduce the required unit. So we ask ourselves, how many O's is the same as how many moles of O? And we know that 1 mole of O atoms is 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 O atoms. 3,01 times 10 to the power 23 divided by 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 gives us 0,5, half a mole of O atoms. How many oxygen molecules? It's not moles oxygen molecules, it's just oxygen molecules in 5 moles of oxygen molecules. Notice the mole. Don't drop off mole. Don't think mole and molecule is the same thing. They're written with the first 3 letters the same, but that doesn't make them the same. Mole and molecule is very different. Molecule, in this case, means 2 O atoms bonded together. That's 1 molecule. Mole means 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 particles, in this case, of those. So you answer this question yourself before I show you the answer. How many O2 molecules in 5 moles of O2 molecules? So we need a unit factor that has moles of O2 at the bottom to cancel away the given unit, and O2, in other words O2 molecules, at the top. So we ask ourselves, how many O2s, so this is an O2, makes up how many moles of O2? And we know that 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 of these O2s makes up 1 mole of O2. 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 O2 molecules is the same thing as 1 mole of O2 molecules. 5 multiplied by 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 is 3,01 times 10 to the power 24 O2. In other words, O2 molecules, of course. How many O atoms in 5 moles of O2 molecules? How many O atoms, not how many moles O atoms, how many O atoms in 5 moles of not O, O2. O2 molecules. You cannot get O2 atoms, so by writing O2 we know it means molecules, so we could leave that one off. You can't leave the mole off, and you can't leave the O2 off, otherwise it's not clear. Now you could do this in one step, but I think you might need to do 2 steps, so let's maybe do 2 steps. So we need to get rid of mole O2, so we need it at the bottom. We ask ourselves, what do we know about mole O2? What is it related to? We actually want O at the top, but maybe that's a bit of a jump. So let's first just ask ourselves, mole O2, how many O2 is that? Notice it's not right yet because this is O2, we want O, but at least we're kind of getting rid of the mole part. So how many mole O2 is how many O2? And we know that 1 mole of O2 is 6,02 times 10 to the power 23. The word mole means this number. So you see we're writing the same thing top and bottom. At the bottom we're saying 1 mole O2, and the top we're saying 1 mole as well, because that number is a mole O2. But we haven't got to what we want yet, because here we have O2, but we need O. So we need another conversion factor, and we have O2 at the bottom to get rid of that O2. And we have O at the top to introduce the required unit. And we ask ourselves, how many O2 is the same as how many O? Now we're not speaking about moles, we're speaking about just individual particles. And we know that we have 2 O's bonded together to make 1 O2. So 2 O's together can make 1 O2. 5 multiplied by 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 times 2 gives us 6,02 times 10 to the power 24. Because 2 times 5 gives 10. Multiply this number by 10 gives another 0 to the number, which is what this here shows. 24 rather than 23 is the exponent. 10 to the power 24 now, not 10 to the power 23. And what's our unit? O. In other words, O atoms, if we want to make it a little clearer. How many moles of O atoms in 12 moles of O2 molecules? How many mole of O in 12 mole of O2? And we're given a hint over here that makes everything very easy. That's our conversion factor we're going to use. We need moles of O2 at the bottom to cancel that unit away. We need moles of O at the top. And it tells us 1 mole of O2 is 2 moles of O. 12 times 2, 24 moles of O. In other words, O atoms, moles of O atoms. How many moles of O atoms in 1,2 times 10 to the power 24 O2 molecules? Pause this, do it yourself first. How many mole O atoms in 1,2 times 10 to the power 24 O2 molecules? Let's do this in 2 steps. If you can do it in 1, that's fantastic. We need O2 at the bottom. We actually want moles O at the top. But for now, let's just go first 1 step more. And let's look for moles O2, not yet mole O. So we're going to get rid of O2 and convert it to mole O2 as our first step. And we know that 1 mole of O2 is 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 O2. Remember, that number is a mole, so we're writing the same thing top and bottom. We are still left with a unit mole O2 that we don't want. We want mole O. So we need another unit factor, which has mole O2 at the bottom. And now, the unit we actually want, mole O at the top. And we've already seen in the previous question that 1 mole O2 is 2 moles of O. Because there's O2. Okay, imagine you have 6,02 times 10 to the power 23 of them, then you have a mole of this. Then you break it up so that you now have 2 piles, each with only O's, not O2's. and each pile will still be a mole big, but now a mole of O, not a mole of O2. So that's why 1 mole of O2 is the same thing as 2 moles of O. 1,2 times 10 to the power 24, divide by 6,02 times 10 to the power 23, multiplied by 2, gives you 3,99, and the unit is moles of O atoms.